Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we will be learning about the poem Cradle Song, which is written by Sarojini Naidu. Before we start, let us look at a brief summary on what we will be doing in today's video. First, we will be learning about the poet, introduction of the poem, listening to the recitation of the poem, analyzing the poem. Then we will be learning about the figures of speech, which include poetic device, literary devices, and figurative language. In the end, we will be answering a few questions based on what we just learned. About the poet. Sarojini Naidu was an Indian political activist and poet. She was born in Hyderabad. Sarojini was a child prodigy displaying high intelligence and proficiency in many languages. Her first play was written in Persian. She looked for inspiration from the Indian people's daily lives for her writing. Revered as the Nightingale of India, she published several collections under the titles Golden Threshold, The Bird of Time, and The Broken Wing. Her birthday is celebrated as Women's Day in India. Now, let us look at the introduction of the poem. The poem Cradle Song, written by Sarojini Naidu, is a lullaby, that is, a quiet and gentle song which is sung to send a child to sleep. In the poem, the poet, who is a mother, is trying to lull her child to sleep. She uses ample beautiful images to help the child visualize them and ultimately close his or her eyes. Now let us listen to the recitation of the poem. Cradle Song by Sarojini Naidu. From groves of spice or fields of rice, athwart the lotus tree, I bring for you, a glint with dew, a little lovely dream. Sweet shut your eyes, the wild fireflies dance through the fairy moon. From the poppy bowl, for you I stole a little lovely dream. They rise good night, in golden light, the stars around you gleam. On you I press, with soft caress, a little lovely dream. Now let us analyze the poem stanza-wise. Stanza 1. From groves of spice, O fields of rice, athwart the lotus stream, I bring for you, a glint with dew, a little lovely dream. A grove is a small area of land with trees of particular types on it. Here, the poet is referring to the groves of spice. Spice are the cardamom, cinnamon, cloves, etc., which are often used in our kitchens. O fields of rice. Here we can clearly see that the poet here is trying to refer to India. We understand that because India is one of the largest producers of rice in the world. Athwart the lotus tree. Athwart means across. So here the mother is taking her child across the lotus tree. I bring for you, a glint with dew, a little lovely dream. A glint means glittering. So the mother brings her child a glint with dew. Dew is leftover water drops left on the leaf after a rainfall. Now let us move to the second stanza. Sweet shut your eyes, the wild fireflies dance through the fairy noon. From the poppy bowl, for you I stole a little lovely dream. Here, the mother is asking her child to close her eyes. The wild fireflies dance through the fairy noon. The white fireflies are those small flies which are mostly and clearly seen during the night. They have light with them which make them extra special. Dance through the fairy neem. Here, fairy neem is being referred to the neem plant being sacred in India. From the poppy bowl, for you I stole a little lovely dream. Poppy bowl refers to the poppy plant with its bright, colorful flowers, often used for making herbal medicines that cause sleepiness. Poppy bowl flowers also have a bright, colorful petals which make them look attractive. Now let us move on to the third stanza. Do you rise good night in golden light, the stars around you gleam. On you I press with soft caress a little lovely dream. Here we can understand that the child is almost about to sleep because the mother wishes the child good night. In golden light, the stars around you gleam. Gleam is to shine with a pale clear light. On you I press with soft caress a little lovely dream. Caress is a gentle touch that shows a sign of care and love. Now, let us understand the figures of speech, poetic device, literary devices, and figurative language. I have already done a detailed video about the figures of speech. If you haven't watched it yet, I shall leave the link to that video in the description box below and also in the iCard above. The first figure of speech is simile, the second is metaphor, the third is personification, the fourth is rhyme, the fifth is imagery. There is also alteration, but there is no alteration in the poem. Therefore, I am not mentioning about it. There is no simile in the poem. In the first stanza, fifth line, we can see that it says, I glint with dew. Here, dew is a metaphor. Also, the first stanza, second line, O fields of rice. Here, rice is a metaphor. Now, let us look at personification. If we look at the second stanza, we can see that in the third line it says, dance through the fairy neem. Here, fairy neem is the personification. Also, in the last stanza, which is the third stanza, we can see that in the third line it says, the stars around you gleam. Here, gleam is a personification. Personification can also be a poetic device. The wild fireflies dance through the fairy neem. These lines are a poetic device used in the poem. It is a personification used by the poet. The wild fireflies are personified as the ones dancing through the fairy neem. The stars around you gleam. This line is also a poetic device. The stars are gleaming around the baby. Now let us look at imagery. Here, imagery is the poetic device. From grows a spice, this line is a poetic device. It is an imagery. Now let us look at the theme of the poem. The theme in A Cradle Song is, it shows the mother's love for her child, and secondly, we can see that the mother is trying to put her child to sleep. The literary device in the poem is rhyming words. Now, let us answer a few questions based on what we learned. Question 1. List the places from which the mother brings a lovely dream for her child. Answer. The mother brings a lovely dream for her child from the groves of spice, the fields of rice, and from across the lotus tree. You can also add more answers to this answer, but I have taken the answers only from the first stanza. Question 2. Where is the poem set? There are two answers for this question. The poem is set on the heart of nature. We can say this as this poem mostly refers to nature as it always speaks about naturality. The second option is the poem is set in a village. We can say this because we can see that the poet refers to spice, rice, etc. All these are grown in a village by farmers. Question 3. Why did the mother choose these places for her child? What is the effect of this on the child? The mother chose these places for her child so that her child may grow loving nature in her young age itself. It might also help the child to have beautiful dreams at night. Question 4. What is the use of the poppy bowl and the fairy name? Fairy name will help the child to cleanse heart as it has a medicinal property in it, and the poppy bowl indicates the child to have a bright and colorful future. Also, since it can cause sleepiness, it might help the child to sleep well. This is all I have. Thank you, and let us meet in another video. If you have anything more to add to what I have said and shown, kindly do so in the comment section below so that it might help me as well as the other friends who may be of need of it. So thank you, and let us meet in another video. Happy learning!